All right, ISC is live and on time. There were some fears that it wouldn't be. Inside Star Citizen intro into jump points. First thing I see is narrative guy. So I think we know the vibes of this one, but I also see a caterpillar going through a jump point in the thumbnail, and it looks amazing. So let's watch this. I'm hyped. 23 minutes.
A jump point connects 2 points, disparate spaces in the physical space. So basically, you go through an opening on one side, you travel through a sort of a tunnel, and then you pop out somewhere else in space. Jump points are naturally occurring. The first discovery of a jump point was actually by accident. It was a cargo ship that had a leaky quantum drive, basically triggered the first opening of the jump point. It accidentally slipped inside and then disappeared, and they found it several years later when Nick Croshaw, who basically was the first one who discovered that the leaking quantum engine was the cause of triggering this rip in time-space to basically open up. And so he basically kind of solidified the knowledge to be able to...
Is Disco making these sounds? Yes.
...replicate it consistently.
There's been a lot of information shared over the years.
A lot of it has changed as we've learned and had new ideas.
So here's a primer on the first jump point.
Can we have a good idea and stick to it? I know that it's fine to say that, but one of the problems with this game is too many new fucking ideas, man.
Building today.
By some of the people that are currently building it.
And what you see and hear is super work in progress.
So welcome to Inside Star Citizen, Intro to Jump Points.
Whoa, that looks different. The music is badass. That was cool as fuck.
So a jump point is basically the means at which a player is able to transition from one solar system to another. There are two different jump point experiences, permanent and transient.
The permanent jump points are the ones that are the most stable, and they are always available for the player to travel through.
It's the well-trafficked, well-traveled route that most people will go through.
Which you find on the star map. The ones that you would like, say, transition from Stanton to Pyro, Pyro to Stanton.
Okay.
Since they're stable and generally larger and easier to travel, there are infrastructure built up around them to support the commerce that goes through them on a regular basis.
So I'm sure many of you have not seen the video because it isn't actually performing too well. But I did just put a video out on why would I use smaller ships, because I didn't like the answer that they said on SCL to the question that I had. And I gave some examples of what other games do. This was always in the back of my mind, and I don't know why I didn't say it. I'll let them say it, but I don't know why I didn't, and I meant to because it's been a part of the project the entire time. They're going about it a little bit of a different way.
So we made a creative decision to remove the circular gates that we were doing in some of the concept art before. It just didn't match the reality of how we wanted to set these up in the world. They're supposed to be naturally occurring. And if you have like this infrastructure around it making this circular jump gate, then that's not showing like how it actually functions in the world.
I know the gate looks cool, but when they explain that, I'm okay with it. With that explanation, guys, they just took something out that looks cool because it makes more sense. They don't do that. Everything is about looking cool only. Can we praise them for taking something out that looks cool? Like, this is progress. This is a good thing. I know they look so much better. That concept art was one of the most stunning bits of art in Star Citizen history. I understand that you guys are going to be mad. And you know what? I'm mad too. But at the same time, instead of getting mad and telling them to backspace, like some of you guys are doing in chat, I think it's like, okay, fuck, man. That sucks, but all right.
We've lost the sort of size restriction when it comes to permanent jump points. So the main jump points that lead from system to system will accept any size ship.
Okay.
Transient jump points are more ethereal.
First
This is a complete shift, a complete and utter shift from their initial design around jump points. Complete and utter shift. Totally different. No, this is new. This is completely new. The idea of sizes is not new. What they're about to say is,
You have to find them, and once you've found them, you don't know where they go.
We like to call in the narrative team the Swiss cheese approach to jump points, which are smaller access points to the main tunnel. Those will still be restricted by small, medium, and large. So basically, it opens up opportunities for smaller ships to kind of sneak their way through.
I hope they go about the Eve mechanic, where the number of ships that go through it will decide when it closes.
A transient jump point may only be able to be used once. It may be a little bit more permanent, but you can never tell how long does it last once you find it.
Yep.
If people are looking to avoid...
We will learn, unfortunately, how long it will last because you can look at the game files or whatever. But yes, I love this. This is cool.
Avoid scrutiny, we'll look for these sort of side routes to get into the jump point, to bypass, security or customs or stuff like that.
In 4.0, our first and only jump point will be
It could be random, actually. Yeah, good point.
the one linking Stanton to Pyro and Pyro to Stanton. Maybe the best way to share this design is simply to walk you through the whole thing. So we leave Lord.
And guys, I've done this. I've done this and had it not look good. It literally looked like a toilet paper roll that I was jumping through. It is a surreal experience.
We put it onto our star map, and we set our course for the Stanton to Pyro jump point. QT there. And then upon arrival, you will fly down to the gateway station that's located there, because you're going to want to make sure that you're stocked up for your trip into Pyro, because Pyro may well not have the things that you're used to in Stanton. You probably want to pick up some ammo, and you want to pick up some more fuel, probably some more fuses, and then after that, undock,
fuse
and
reference.
then turn yourself to view the jump point.
The jump points will be visible from far distance.
Can I go back and check the UI of the ship? If you're looking for UI of jump points, they're almost guaranteed to show you in just a moment here, if that's what you were talking about. Okay? If there's something else, let me know. Also, absolutely epic stash. We will see a UI in a moment. Let me know to go back if I need to, and I will, okay?
Star kind of a thing that just like pulses and asks you to come near me.
You'll see like the massive whirlwind from the gravity pool that the jump point itself is creating, which is a gas cloud.
Yeah, they literally made that guy in the character
You'll see it in
customizer.
various different colors or
that
forms.
stash is epic.
You can fly towards where the jump point will be, and there is structures in Stanton that sort of lead you towards the jump point.
When you approach the jump point, what you'll hear is the general ambience of the whole area, whether that's the distant portal emitting energy or violent clashes of thunder that is drawing the player into this central jump zone. And as we get closer, this will build up, and the player will feel like they're being drawn into something primordial.
With jump points, multiple players can take them at the same time, so...
Also true, and also incredibly cool. I was shot at inside of a jump point. Don't know if that was on purpose or allowed, but it happened in the test, and I hope it stays.
It is probably likely that you will encounter other players waiting to make their jumps.
And you'll also see like the security and the turret infrastructure around it that's providing a safe experience on the permanent jump gates.
Turrets have never provided a safe experience, but okay, hopefully one day.
In order to perform your jump, the first thing you need to do is get closer to the jump point.
Yep.
But you won't be able to go all the way up to it. Like when it's not active yet, it has a field around it that will push you away until you've attuned to the anomaly that allows you to go through.
You have to call ETC The anomaly needs ATC to be able to allow you to enter.
Yep.
When you're using a jump point, you're actually just an individual. So,
Mike, go through to 356, completely reworked HUD for the Corsair. I think you are going to see the reworked HUD because, just guys, trust me, I have jumped through a jump point. The UI is incredibly important. They are going to show it, okay? That's why I have not gone back. I promise you, I'm aware. They will show it, I think. If they don't, I will go back, okay? And they may show the MFDs. I will go back. Calm down. We can go back later, all right? Let's go through the process slowly. Chill. It's a fucking MFD.
The ATC calls that you have to make are for you, and then the groups that you go in are designated by the ATC.
If you contact
You got to remember, I've jumped through a jump point. I think they're going to show more.
You can be put into the queue together, but there's no guarantee that you'll be in the same jump group.
If you want to jump with your friends, you need to make sure that you arrive together, and when you call ATC, you will be able to see how much space is in the group. So if you have friends and you want to jump together, you'll be able to know exactly how much room there is in that group. And if it's not enough for you and you want to go with your friends later, then you can forfeit and you go again.
In the future, I definitely want to have some more.
I don't know if I like that design. I don't know if I like that design, but okay.
Quality of life features where you can get into queue at the
How do big groups jump? Right? It seems like a small size limit.
ATC as a party, but currently our ATC does not support queuing as a party, so you'll just be doing it as an individual.
Once you are within range of it, you need to be changing over to nav mode. Your UI will automatically change to the jump drive UI,
which will allow you to know if...
Oops, sorry. I will now pause. See what I said, chat? Calm down. You're going to see a lot more important things and the MFDs at the same time, like I said. Okay? Jeez. The MFDs look really cool. They look modern, but Drake. I like it. I like it. The 2D radar, dude, you gotta appreciate the 2D radar.
Change to the jump drive UI,
which will allow you to know if you're aligned.
I'm not a pre-watcher. I'm a pre-jump pointer. That's what it is.
If you can go in, if it's blocked, you have a visual input of the UI. The HUD is moving, is turning until you have a message notification that tells you, all right, you're aligned. If you look away, of course, that will trigger the cancellation of that alignment.
Okay, so this is very similar. Just different color for Anvil.
Alignment. If you move away from your position, you'll lose probably your position in the queue. You'll have red markers that tells you or your...
And this is Aegis. Is the font different on them? Dink, dink, dink. Dink, dink, dink. We are moving away from a triangle, and we are going a different direction. The triangle has died. Cool. And if you want to scan, you can click that button maybe, or you can press a button. You swap over by pressing some buttons. Output 5 out of 14, whatever that means. So all of this is obviously placeholder, but the MFDs seem a lot more functional. Like identical to Elite. If a game does something good, maybe CIG should do it.
On the wrong side, you have to move to that direction. You'll have also kind of like a landing strip where you have the lights that tells...
We need to copy more shit. We should not shit on them for copying things.
You have to go in through this area. So you'll have those rings that pulse and tell you you're...
This says 5 out of 18. Just trying to look for a little bit more info. See if we gain any knowledge from it. I don't see too much, though.
So as soon as the ATC has gotten to your group and you're now able to use the jump gate, your jump drive will start attuning to the gate.
And once you have authorization and you have opened the wormhole, you'll have the tuning visual that's really similar to the aligning, but with tuning messages that tells you what to.
I don't want to pause too much, but don't you think this is a lot of standing around to go through a jump gate in a place where, at least in a current time, I'm a little bit nervous where there's going to be a lot of ganking and stuff that goes on here where the game can't protect you the way that we would want to. Now, the one advantage we have is jump gates come with 4.0. 4.0 should have better server performance. Fingers crossed the AI are better, but I'm not going to hold my breath that they are, right? Maybe in 4.1, but probably not in 4.0.
And once that's done, you'll have tuning access and
Park's
be
good.
ready to go
Good so
inside.
far. Really good.
While your ship is tuning, you'll see rippling in the anomaly. And as soon as you are tuned, then you can fire a burst of quantum energy into the portal that will rip it open, and you'll have a gate in space that allows you to see the tunnel beyond and travel to your new star system.
I gotta say,
when it opens, you'll hear the space around the jump point being ripped apart
weird.
and everything being drawn into it. A really guttural, swirling sound of all the space around the jump point being dragged into this one singularity.
I mean, it's whatever, but I just think it's weird.
During this drawing process, the ships are drawn in automatically. You don't have to control anything. You don't have to do anything. There is, in fact, nothing you can do that would stop you being drawn in.
Okay. What about when you're in?
So the plan right now is if there's any obstructions in front of you when you're trying to attune to the gate, that...
Did you guys see the MFDs?
It'll break your attunement. So if somebody gets in your way while you're trying to attune, your attunement will pause until that obstruction has gone away. However, if anybody gets too close to the jump gate and they're not attuned, then they're going to get pushed away, which should clear the area for anybody who's trying to get through.
So for the people who want to block a jump point, we are actually considering our options as to how to prevent that from happening.
All right, I mean, they got time to figure it out. I don't know why it was mentioned. If you're trying to figure out your options, don't mention it. Figure it out, and then let us know when you have everything figured out. I know they like to be like open development. I don't think that's like a good version of open development. We should just kind of be quiet, and when you figure something out, let us know, and we'll thumbs up or thumbs down.
When you cross the threshold, you'll hear an instantaneous whip of the ship being pulled in and the changing of atmosphere between deep space and this singularity that you're being dragged into.
Once you're in the tunnel, your ship will be flying at a set speed that's determined by the flow of energy through the tunnel.
You'll hear the space around you flying past you at a great pace, like a really long cosmic drain pipe.
And you don't have any control of how fast you're going. You'll speed up in this.
What you see here in the tunnel is an intermediate stage of visual development. We built fundamental elements that make up for the tunnel and associated VFX. We're now iterating towards the visual target you're already familiar with. Yeah, I don't care. At this moment, I want to know if I can maneuver my ship or not.
Down the corners to a certain degree, but you still have to navigate.
Okay, you do.
The tunnel itself is something else. It needs a lot of technical and graphical things that need to happen.
We've got flickering lights, some type of ethereal type of...
Yeah, like if we honestly believe that Star Citizen won't put the visuals over everything, what are we doing here? I don't even think he needs to say that.
Particle effect to show you type of the direction
Gives a
we're
fuck
flowing.
about the graphics.
We also have fog effects, and this idea that you're always moving towards a strong, bright light in the distance. The idea we're going off so far is that we're working on the bending of light. You'll see impressions of the exterior, the location you've just come from, and also hints at the way you're going to.
I like that color scheme. It's like ATC.
The walls of the tunnel type of curving the space-time around you, and eventually, as you travel through the tunnel, that distortion will move away from the initial system you started in and then blend slowly towards the new system you end up in. We can kind of do anything we want because it's an enclosed space, so we're doing things like, on the rendering side, we're taking the sunlight, which we don't normally need when you're in an enclosed space, and we're reusing the sunlight, all the text that goes behind that with high-res shadow maps and these type of things and directional occlusion, and then reusing that to create a flickering, pulsating effect in the tunnel. And we can take a lot of shortcuts and do a lot of cool things that aren't really possible in the rest of the game because we have this totally enclosed and bespoke play space.
You will not see two-lane traffic inside the jump tunnel itself. In the jump tunnel, you'll see the ships ahead of you, and if you look behind, you'll be able to see ships that are in range behind you, but you won't see traffic going the other direction.
Yeah, yeah.
Why do you hate fun?
It's not that I hate fun, it's that I want everybody to have a good experience in this tunnel, and if there's other ships there that you can collide with, we want to avoid that kind of situation.
Yeah, that would be ridiculous.
The player's ships, when they're traveling...
So it's the coolest loading screen ever. Yes. For a game that will claim they don't have loading screens, but...
in the tunnel are going to be in a line. So it's going to be, the term that we use internally is
not a traditional loading screen,
one ship
at least.
behind another ship behind another ship.
There'll be some obstructions in some of the tunnels which you have to dodge around, but for the most part, it's a matter of...
So guys, this image that they're showing is from 2015.
Of turning and
they're still sticking to that,
navigating
which is cool.
through the tunnel and not hitting the sides.
Because the closer you are to the edge of the tunnel, the more likely you are to fail your jump.
Yep.
The edges of those tunnels and those obstructions cause distortion damage to your ship.
Okay.
There's a pool on your jump drive.
Okay.
And if this pool fills with distortion, then your jump drive will shut down. If your jump drive does shut down, then you're going to fail that jump.
What happens when I fail a jump?
You get booted out of the tunnel, and there's a number of places in the system where you could end up based on like how long you've been in the tunnel. You could end up back in Stanton, or you could be in Pyro, but you're not going to be at where you wanted to be. You're going to be at the edge of the system somewhere and have to find your way back.
Interesting. Okay, I've explained this on how it worked previously. There is a 0% chance the way it worked when I played that you would be back in Stanton. It's interesting that he says that, and how it worked previously is, this is about right here, where the jump point is in Stanton. But you could see where the Pyro jump point is in Pyro. So when I jumped through the gate, when I did it in a playtest, what happened was I instantly was in Pyro. The skybox changed because I could still see the skybox because, again, I was literally jumping through like kind of what looked like a toilet paper roll. And it instantly changed. I was in Pyro. When I got out of, I went through this whole animation, whatever. I was on rails. I couldn't control the ship. And I ended up here because I never moved on the map. Right? And how I thought they were going to do it is, as soon as you go into the jump point, you're in Pyro, and then the length of time it takes you to go through the jump point is the length of time it takes you to move from here to here on the map. And if you failed, wherever you were on the map is where you would end up. Now it seems like they've gone a little bit of a different direction where they might put you out here, out there, and make your life way more difficult, which is, I think, probably a better thing. Because imagine, yeah, I got left right out next to Monox. I just go grab some fuel and I'm good to go, right? I like the idea of being out in the middle of nowhere. Failing
the jumps
is good.
that we are toying with
Failing should be
are
punishing.
about 3 minutes, but this is still open to iteration based on how many ships we want to have in that tunnel, how close they are, and the trip needs to be long enough in order to cover the transition from your origin system to your destination system.
Yeah. So 3 minutes to stream in the other system. I think that's a fair amount of time.
When you are arriving via a jump point, you will realize...
Small ships failing jump are fucked, no QT fuel. You're right. But there are ships that should be able to refuel those if they ever fix refueling.
...that you aren't actually coming through the same entryway that you would have been passing through to go to the next system. Players will not be able to necessarily camp that point
3 minutes server
just for
change.
you to exit it. The intention is that there will be multiple locations where you will exit to, and so this will mitigate that threat.
It's kind of a shotgun approach coming out of the jump gate because we don't want...
I'm sorry, I need to listen to this again. This is a very weird idea, and I don't know if I agree with it or not.
From your origin system to based on how many ships we want to have in that tunnel, how close they are, and the trip needs to be long enough in order to cover the transition from your origin system to your destination system.
Okay, here we go. I was reading chat. I'm just going to focus on the video for this part.
When you are arriving via a jump point, you will realize that you aren't actually coming through the same entryway that you would have been passing through to go to the next system. Players will not be able to necessarily camp that point just for you to exit it. The intention is that there will be multiple locations where you will exit to, and so this will mitigate that threat.
It's kind of a shotgun approach coming out of the jump gate because we don't want everybody to be slamming right into each other. We want to be able to spread the ships out that are coming through and get your own view of like your new setting and where you're at.
Fair. My only jump experience was the moment I got through the other side, I slammed into the ship in front of me and I died. So
when you come out of the pyro side of the jump gate, you should come out into completely different space than on the Stanton side. So it's sort of like a cave of gas. But there's also some structures that lead you directly towards the station. You can do anything you like there. It's just a normal R&R station that is just nice and safe before you go out in.
Okay, so you're in the location, but you're coming out in different areas of that location. So it still can be camped. Am I understanding this correctly? Like, we're coming out at this gate, but we might come out over here or we might come out over there. I think that's what he means. Yeah, camped, but not completely blocked. Okay. Yeah, I don't hate that as much. Because you do want the sandboxy nature of people being able to, unfortunately, be shitty. But hopefully you have people who are against the people who are shitty and fight against them, and then players solve the solution that other players create, like the problems that other players create. That would be nice. Okay, cool. So we're on the same page. Jake confirmed that with us. So thank you, Jake. And yeah, now we can move on from that one
to pyro itself, which is more dangerous, of course.
We've already shown on the tech preview that you can enter a jump gate and come out the other side, and we've got the ability to transfer servers. We've got that working even better than we ever thought we could at the beginning. We want to make the experience of going through the tunnel as seamless as possible. We don't want it to be super hard, but we want it to be engaging. We're going to save the challenging experience, the super hard acrobatics for the transient gates when we get to them.
We're dialing in the numbers about how many people jump at the same time, distance between ships, precisely the speed at which ships move down the tunnel, things like that. There's a lot of variables involved in balancing it, and there will be far more testing in the tech preview channel for jump points, so you can look forward to helping us figure out there.
I very much look forward to helping them figure that stuff out. Those are the tech previews that I wish we have had earlier. These are the ones that will define the progress of server meshing and how it's going. And these are the tech previews we really need to see to be like, hey, what's been going on?
Yeah, it's really exciting to be to this point where we're able to deliver this new system of transferring yourself from one star system to another, being able to visit an entirely new star system, and having that experience of going from Stanton to Pyro. It's going to be exciting.
Thanks for watching, and we're all really looking forward to being able to make these jumps and just a normal part of our gaming life.
Nice.
Which is fun, because jumping is fun.
Yeah, it literally is. It is.
So what did we learn this week? Well, hopefully a whole heck of a lot about the first jump point that's currently in development and scheduled to make its way into Star Citizen Alpha 4.0 in just the next few months. Yeah, I didn't say before the end of this year. We're still targeting something a bit sooner than that. And that's all I'm going to say. And while jump points are a major milestone for the development of this game...
Yeah, how are those hangars going? We just missed.
Before we let you go this week, I'd like to talk to you about a different kind of milestone unique to the program that you're watching now. ISC began in April of 2019. And since then, we've managed to tell a variety of different stories about more aspects of game development than you're probably likely to find anywhere else. That's 200 episodes so far, including the one that you're watching right now, with no plans to stop or slow down in the future. But this journey didn't start in 2019. That's because ISC is only the latest form of a program that's nearly as old as our project. Before then, we were proud to bring you Around the Verse, the talk show at the end of the universe. First created by Ben Lesnick and Sandy Roberts and hosted by an entire cavalcade of CIG developers filling in here and there, with segments that sometimes spawned into their own series like Bug Smashers, Lore Maker's Guide to the Galaxy, Ship Shape, and more. That was 228 episodes filled with a whole bunch of people that may not have always known what they were doing behind and sometimes in front of the camera, but doing everything we could to entertain, inform, and simply showcase the folks who make these video games that we're working on. But even they built their legacy on our first weekly behind-the-scenes talk show created by Eric Peterson and Michael Moreland called Wingman's Hangar, with Hangar with 2 A's. Old heads will know. 72 episodes of that set the foundation for CIG video content to come, even if some of it was just what we shouldn't do. Should I bring back Hazy Thoughts?
No, okay. Dude, don't.
So, 72 episodes of Wingman's Hangar, 228 episodes of Around the Verse, and 200 episodes.
There's a lot of things that we shouldn't do that we still do, though. But,
of Inside Star Citizen. I had someone check the math on this 3 times. Someone was me, because I had to be sure. That makes this show not only the 200th episode of Inside Star Citizen, but also the 500th episode in a legacy that we're very proud to maintain. And hopefully continue to improve upon for years to come.
Congrats.
Now, we don't have any fireworks or anything like that, and that's not really my style anyway. Instead, I wanted to pay tribute to the 680 people that have worked on or participated in or otherwise made one of these 500 episodes possible. And no, that's also too many to sing about. So instead, we spent the last 3 months going through every record and video we've made in order to ensure that we didn't miss anyone. But before we play our first 500 episodes credit roll, just let me thank the one group of people that aren't listed. No, not you. Move. Yeah, there you are, there you are. You've allowed us to tell stories of game development for 500 episodes now, and that's not even counting all the other programs over the years. You do this each and every week by responding to what we share. And as Dave Kaplan said just 2 weeks ago on this very program, that engagement and feedback is truly what keeps many of us going, and I'm certainly no exception. So thank you
unless it's mine.
Once again, thank you for letting us share the people and process of game development with you. And we'll see you all here next week. And maybe the start of another 500.
Thank you to the people who have shared their process across 500 episodes. Mark Abent. Look at this. Guys, you know who to yell at when you get mad about something now. This is cool. No, this is awesome. 600 people. There's some cool names. Umberto Aspero Iyer. That's a cool name. Blythe. I always thought Blythe was a cool name. There's Sylvan. Thomas Hennessy. Josh Herman might have been one of the nicest people that ever worked at the company towards me. He made me feel so welcome. Ricky Judley, remember him? Mike Jones, Texas. That's Texas. There's Torsten. Will Leverett. Ben and Matt Lightfoot. He used to watch the stream. I don't know who this guy is, but probably a scrub. Sam Molina hangs out. Chad. hard to see the names. I'm going to miss some people. Rob Reiniger. He was the original cargo guy. There's Zach. I thought this said Adam Sandler. Kirk Tomei. He's the great QT emote. Celeste Valentine. That name is so cool. Holy shit. Did you see Sean Tracy? It should have said Theaters of War guy there. And Tony Z is the last person. To Eric, Ben, Sandy, and Chris, and everyone around and in between, thanks, Jared. There you go. That was sweet. It's alphabetical? No, I think it means that he's gone. You know, let's feed that meme some more. That was cool. That was a sweet ending. Jump points, though. What'd you guys think? I think it was pretty cool. I think the only thing that's a little bit weird is the group size. I think that's going to be odd. But I also like it because it's like anti-Zerg, which is kind of cool. No jump gate. People are mad about that. It's whatever to me, but I understand. And yeah. Just kind of want to try it. I don't know about you. That's really where I stand. And I don't know about you guys. I thought the VFX looked cool. I thought it was fine. I don't even care. Can I get to the other system and do trading and fight or do other things? I was like, I thought that looked kind of cool. But whatever. But yeah, so very interesting. Also, definitely like the clarification that we got on the gate can be camped, but not blocked. That's cool. So no trolling, but like legitimate gameplay allowed, which is cool. So a lot better than I thought this episode would be. Thought it was going to be mostly visual. They talked a lot about gameplay, and awesome. Yeah. Sweet.